I want to just transition just a little bit just to the hoop part of it because it is, you had a disruptive season, right? I mean, you had to change, you had
Yeah.
to, and I heard you on the Knuckleheads the other day about how much of a partnership you had with Joe Cronin and Portland and how it made it easier. And I just wonder, was that something that you believed was possible? Because you hear all these horror stories about, I found out when at my son's game, or I found out in the grocery store that I got traded and nobody called me and all that. And it seemed like it didn't work that way with Portland. They were with you every step of the way. And I just wonder what that process was like.
Yeah, I think communication is key in every type of relationship you have, right? I'm big on communication. It's why I went to school for journalism. It's why I took public speaking courses. I want to be able to express my feelings. I want to be able to share things. I want people to really, truly understand what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, my delivery. And I want to also be able to understand people, which is why I took sociology courses, right? So I could kind of read body language and all those things. I say all that to say that I'm not shy, right? Like when I feel a way, I speak on it. When I don't, I don't. I knew something was going to happen, right? Everyone else knew. I knew for 6 or 7 years I was in rumors. Once Neil got fired, the writing was on the wall. Something is going to happen bigger. Terry was fired. Our whole staff was out. Like it's two dominoes, right? Me and Dame. Someone
Right.
is leaving. Someone's
Yeah.
getting traded. If it's not him, who else is it going to be, right? If they want to make a big change, it has to be me. So we had adult conversations. Like I walked into his office and we had adult conversations where I was like, look, man, I understand you're interim GM. You got some decisions you need to make. I just want to have that open line of communication with you to where we're talking back and forth. I have a baby on the way. I've been in the city a very long time. I have a lot of things I need to plan around. And I would appreciate it if we could have an open communication. I'm understanding you got to do what you got to do. There's some things you may not be able to tell me. And I respect that. But as the player that I am, the person that I am first, you know me, you know how I move, you know the influence that I have in this league, you know the relationships that I have. I think it would be very beneficial for all parties if we're able to work out something in the event that's the route you want to take. So we had those conversations for a long time, and out of respect to me and my family and the things I've done in that community, the things I've done for that team, we both felt like it was in both our better interests to talk through a transition. And that's what we did. We talked through options. We talked through what that would look like, asked them what you would like to see happen in a deal. And it got to that point where like most players, I don't know if they can have those types of conversations about their value, their worth, whatever. But I'm like, look, I get the business. I know numbers. I know CV. I know the collective bargaining. I know the salary cap. I know what you can pay, what you can't pay. And I know for a fact you can't pay all of us. And I'm not here to take less money. So, so let's work something out. And, I'm thankful for Joe. I'm thankful for the relationship that I have with him, the Trailblazers organization. They've been great to me. I've been great to them. And we agreed it shouldn't be an ugly breakup. Like there's a way in which you can do things and both parties can move on. They can be happy to be moving on. They can be happy with what they're receiving. And I can go to a place where I'm wanted, I'm needed, I'm utilized properly. I'm able to flourish, able to be my entire self. My wife is happy, my son, I have to transition. I got to find a pediatrician. I got to find a house. Like they understood all the parts of my life, and the sick part of the business is that doesn't always happen.
Right.
And we want to get to a point where business is happening properly, right? Sometimes you got to make trades and you can't really inform people because they'll blow the deal up. I get that. But in the event that all parties can coordinate respectively and responsibly, I think people should always get the benefit of the doubt to get the heads up. Like if you got to do the trade, you got to do the trade. But like you should at least give somebody a heads up, especially when their wife is pregnant.
Right.
Do anymore. You know what I mean? There's a lot of variables there to where like our life shifts a lot, right? And I knew my life was about to shift. I had to leave my son, I had to leave my wife to come to New Orleans. I didn't bring him with me because he didn't have all his shots yet. He still had doctor's appointments. She still had doctor's appointments postpartum.
Right.
So that was a tough situation in which we respectfully handled it. Probably better than I even envisioned it, right? Because breakups are hard. It's not easy.
I thought your outro, that what you wrote for the Players Tribune, it was so good. I felt like I was the ghostwriter, even though I wasn't. But you know what I'm saying. But that's a bar, bro.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
It's funny to me. I mean, 10 years is a long time, but it's not that long. And it's funny to me that you're an OG now, right? Like you go like, hey man, I'm gonna go handle this. I'm gonna go put some cats under my wing. It feels like the battles like you had with the Warriors was just like 2 years ago, right? It felt like all that was so recent. I was wondering, like, with all this like wisdom and maturation, how do you view like those years? I mean, you guys ran up against a dynasty. Like, we're gonna talk about that team for 30 years. And I know maybe people said, okay, you didn't get it done, and some people view that as a failure. I wonder, how do you view it? You've been through it. You went toe to toe with them, like, you know, KD and Steph and Clay. In hindsight, as a basketball fan, how do you view that as an OG?
I think twofold, right? I think people's interpretations of success and failure is relevant to their wants, their needs, right? Success for me was maximizing my potential, right? Getting the most out of my talents, my abilities, and making the most of the situation. And I did that. Dame did that. We did the best that we could with what we were given, with the roster that we were given, with the situations that we were given, with the injuries we were given, with the teams we ended up matching up against. Should we have probably won a championship? I think it's debatable, right? Like, we lost to some very good teams, arguably the best team ever. This one year, I felt like we should have won the championship. That's the year we went to the conference finals. We were beating the Warriors 3 straight games by double digits. We blew 3 straight game leads in the second half, specifically the fourth quarter. I felt like that was the year we could have won the championship. Remind you, we were playing with Enes Kanter as our starting center. Well, I like Enes a lot, but Nurk was hurt. Right. We went to the conference finals with a backup center. So, like, think about all those things. Obviously, the Warriors had injuries as well. They end up sweeping us. But it was a sweep in which we led for more time than we were trailing, and we didn't win a game, which is wild to think about.
Right. With closers on your roster.
Hey, that Myers Leonard game, what was that, game 3? That was one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
Like, we lose a game in which Myers hit 7 threes, which is wild. Like, how does that happen? That shows you how good they were. But I enjoyed my time there. I worked as hard as I could have possibly worked. I did all the things I could have possibly done from a preparation standpoint, and I can live with the results of losing because I did all I could. Like, so that's how I look at it. Like, I learned a lot. I grew as a person. I grew as a man. I grew in the community. I was able to experience a lot of things. I got to play on the stage. Doesn't get any bigger than the conference finals unless you go to the finals. So I've been in the playoffs 8 straight years. This will be 9. So I've seen all there is to see in this game besides winning a championship and playing in the finals. I've played against champions. I know what it takes. I've guarded champions. I guarded MVPs, unanimous MVP. I guarded the guy that can score 30 and a quarter. I guarded the guy that can score 50 on 16 shots. Like, I've seen it. And now it's just about taking those experiences, enjoying them for what they are, and then learning and growing and applying that to my new situation.
Speaking of which, it's an interesting group you got down in New Orleans. I mean, they've got obviously B.I. hella talented. We know Zion's going to be good when he gets right. But you're in a different headspace, I would think, than you were when you got to Portland, right? You were young. You didn't know what was going on in the league. You learned, but now you're 30, right? And so you're in a different spot. So what is it that you besides the scoring and the game, which you bring, what else do you bring that can help a young team get to that next level?
I think it's the intangibles. It's the leadership. It's the way I carry myself. I have a steady, calming influence. Being able to teach guys how to be a true professional, right? I don't have to tell you about it. You just watch me. Like, I don't have to lecture you on do's and don'ts, what you should be doing.
Hey, watch how I move. At some point in my life, hey man, I ain't got to say nothing. Just watch me. I don't know what I'm gonna say that about, but I'm saying that at some point.
But I'm saying, like, that's what I mean. Like, watch how I move. Watch the preparation. Watch how strategic I am. Watch the routine. What time do I get up? What time am I going to sleep? How do I take care of my body? Who's using their recovery kits when they get them? Right? Like, do you foam roll at night before you go to sleep? Are you using your Normatec? Are you getting your massage times? Are you getting your table times in? Are you overtraining? A lot of these guys is working on the wrong shit. Like, what are you working on? How are you getting better? What type of shots do you get in the game? Do you know how to set a screen properly? Do you understand the plays? Like, it's the little stuff that gets you in the league for long periods of time. And it's the big things that help you make the money. The little things help you stay in the league. Like, I got big checks. I done got small checks. I had big roles and I had small roles. now I understand how to survive in a league full of savages, right? This is a league full of savages, the best players in the world.
Yep.
It's 60 guys coming in to take your job every year, and it's a bunch of free agents that's good enough to have your job, but just don't have the opportunity. So I'm trying to teach them the little stuff to give them an advantage, to get them 2, 3, 4 more years in the league. And I don't have to say much. You can watch how I move. You ask me questions, I'll give you input. I'm a servant leader, right? I serve, I lead when I need to. I speak when I need to. Like, I don't want to be the overwhelming voice in the locker room. I just got here. Like, I'm not like, rah, team on 3. No. I speak when I need to speak. Yo, y'all got to box out. Yo, it's 2 minutes left in the game. These are 2 plays we're going to run down the stretch. Yo, he's a shooter. Close out all the way to his feet. Yo, this is the play. We're going to run this play out of this timeout. Yo, BI, I need you to be more aggressive. Get downhill. We in the bonus. Z, this is what I did when I broke my foot. Yeah. This is the doctor I use. This is how I ate. This is the times I went to sleep. This is the bone stimulator I used. These are the things that's going to help you come back faster. You can do it if you want to do it. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I've already been there. I broke my foot 3 times. You broke yours twice. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm not out here to preach. I'm not out here to, woe is me. Like, I don't know everything, but I've seen a lot of shit. I've done a lot of shit, and I've made a lot of money. I know the right people. I know how to do things the right way, and I believe in karma. So I try to give what I can to those that'll listen, and the rest will be what it's going to be. And that's kind of how I move my whole life. People that know me, right? I'm super blunt. I'm super straight to the point. Some people will say I'm borderline disrespectful. All those things are true. All those things are true. But I'm me. But at the end of the day, I am me. I am 100% myself. I'm authentic in every room I walk in. I'm the same version of me. And I think that's what's really important. And you can ask my teammates, past and present. They'll say, I didn't know CJ was like that. Yeah. Until they meet me, they don't know. You judge me by, I went to Lehigh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm polished, I can put a suit on, I can look clean, I got the shiny shoes. I can still put the bust down on too with the 2 chains if I need to, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you have this interpretation of what you think someone's like, and you meet them. Sure. And they like, wow.
Free game. I could, where I could see that like mentality and how you essentially like stuck to your game throughout all these years. Like, for instance, you could shoot 13 threes a game. You can make threes. We know you can shoot it, but you just like, hey man, I will destroy you every time down with this same mid-range pull-up until you stop it, right? Like, how does that old school mentality, I'm sure, was developed like years of working with your brother, but just this idea, what you don't see in the league very much is, until you stop this, you getting this all night. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's right. A mindset I see you have.
Yeah, it stems from my childhood. My brother teaching me the game, teaching me life, the importance of working hard, but also the importance of being authentic to who you are. I say all this to say, like, I was 5'2", right? I was a scorer. They was like, he's not this, he's not that, he's too small, not strong enough. I got the 5'7", he's not this, he's not that. Got the 5'11". Oh, he can score, but he can't pass. Can he score in the league? I get to the league. Oh, he can score, but he can't pass. But before you said I couldn't score, but now I can't pass. Now I'm the backup point guard. Now I'm full-time point guard, but I couldn't pass, but my assist to turnover ratio is like 6.7 to 2. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's always something, right? If you chasing what people think you aren't, you'll never become yourself. Like, I know who I am. I get buckets. I can get to the midi. I can finish at the rim. I got a floater. I'm a 3-level scorer. I can pass. I just never got paid to pass. I got paid to get buckets. I got paid to be a shooting guard. So I was a scoring shooting guard. Now I'm getting paid to run a team. So I'm running a team. So there's a difference. And my analytics guys have talked to me. John Yim's my guy. Shout out to John Yim. He works for the Lakers G League team. He was our video coordinator in Portland for my entire, career besides last year. He got fired with the staff. He was like, CJ, you got to shoot more threes. So what I do, I shot 2 more threes a game. Instead of 5 or 6, I shoot 7 or 8. It helps me in the analytics department. They are happy. My efficiency goes up, but I'm still shooting middies. I'm still getting to my pull-up because it's unstoppable, and it's a shot everybody allows you to shoot. The three-pointer is a higher percentage shot for shooters, but it takes more energy. The closeouts is crazy. Everybody trying to run me off the line. And I'm like, I'm not about to just force threes up because y'all think that's a better shot. If I can go get 25 a night shooting 6 threes, shoot 50% from the field, everybody can't do that. Like KD, Kyrie. The list is getting shorter.
Yeah,
Steph,
right.
Steph don't shoot
Nah.
middies. Steph is
He
3
probably
into the
should
cup.
shoot more. Yeah, but
Yeah,
you're
because
right.
he'd shoot like 70%.
You got me, Book, KD, Kyrie.
Mhm.
Chris Middleton shoots some middies. I mean, it's 5 to 8 guys who like thriving in the midi, but can also be 3-level scorers. Like that's rare. Like guys don't have that. So it's like, why would I change my game when y'all said I was never supposed to be here, right? I wasn't supposed to be here. Why am I change my game when my game is what got me here? My game got me to 100 million, probably another 100 million. You know what I'm saying? So why would I change that when it's proven that it works? It's like, I would be insane to just shift my game now at this point when it's proven that I'm one of the best to play the way I play.
Dude, Marcus, let me tell you this. I think I may have told you this before. I don't know if I did or not, Marcus, but all right. So this is February of 2010. I'm sitting in Bender Arena with my beloved AU Eagles, and then brown shirts come in. And this dude, Marcus, he's not starting. He comes off the bench. And he hits us with the 2 dribble, pop, pop, and pulls up from about 18 and then does it again, pop, pop. And I turned to my guy next to me, and I swear to God, this is exactly what I said. What the fuck is he doing in the Patriot League? What? Who is that kid? Who is he? Like, he's not supposed to be here. You know what I mean? Like, we don't, nobody does that in our league, you know, and it just sticks to what you just said. You stuck to that when you had very few scholarship offers in high school, even though you were giving people work, right? But you still stuck to your stuff. Like, you didn't say, all right, let me be flashy and let me do all this stuff to get noticed. You're like, nah, man, I get 25 a night doing this. And man, I mean, just to stick with that, it is amazing that even when when you blew up in high school as a senior, you stuck to that, right? And you stuck with Lehigh, and it's fascinating to me that you did that. Like, because
I thought it was wild that he went back.
It's so hard. It is.
That was gangster. That was gangster.
Sure. Yeah. And I
wanted to be the man.
Yeah.
I remember in 2008, the Warriors general manager was like, "You gotta watch this Stephen Curry kid," and I'm like, "Davidson, playing no hoop, right?" So Steph does what he does, right? So then it was like, "All right, you gotta watch this CJ kid," but Steph had already let us know, "Oh no, these dudes do work," right? And you were like at the beginning of that mid-major movement. So then, like, I think you might have been a junior, and it was like, oh, this dude is a bucket. Right. So it was like, but it was super early. I don't think it was as popular then for a mid-major dude, but I remember like doubting Steph. And then when I saw you, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is another one of them. These dudes get buckets professionally. Like, this is what they do. Right? I thought it was great. I thought it was dope you went back though, even though, man, I would have went and got that bread.
It's a mentality. And it was, for me, I wanted to be over evaluated, right? Like, everybody is like, oh, like these guys go one and done. There's no film on them. They don't really know there's upside. What is it going to be? I was so confident in my game and myself. I was like, I want them to come watch me. Come watch practice. You can pick my game apart. I'm good at a lot of different things, right? Like, I have a unique skill set that I think transfers at every level. That's just how I felt. I was like, this is a game that transfers at every level, and you can watch me play up close. I want you to critique my game. I want you to have film on me. I wanted to get better. I wanted to go back to the tournament. I felt like I could get to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8. And I wanted to know what it was like to be a preseason All-American. I wanted to know what it was like to be the man coming into a season. Like, I had never felt that before. Like, besides high school, I was a preseason All-American. I was at CPs. I was at LeBron Skills Academy. I was at all those things. And I was like, I want to really see what this is like to be I was a big man on campus, but now I'm the big man on campus. I want to know what that was like.
Yeah. And you know, that year was weird, I know, for you, man, but is there any regret that you stayed? Any regret that season, even though that's not what you wanted, did you still enjoy that season?
I did enjoy that season. And when I first got hurt, I did have regrets. I definitely regretted going back to school because of the injury. I didn't know what was going to happen. I felt like my career could be over. I felt like I would have felt better being hurt as a millionaire, right? Like knowing my family was taken care of.
Right.
But now looking back on it, that's exactly what I needed. From a mental standpoint, it shifted my perspective. I began to do hot yoga. I began to take care of things that I probably wouldn't have taken care of before. My perspective, my appreciation of life shifted. I needed that. Like looking back, it helped shape me in who I am today. I have better character. I have better morals. I do things a certain way now, understanding that this game can be gone like that. I've had multiple foot fractures. I understand the importance of being able to depend and rely upon people, right? Like I had to have people help me. I had to have people help me get up. I couldn't shower standing up. Like there was a lot of things that I just couldn't do anymore. And it was hard, but I needed that. And I'm thankful for the injury because it allowed me to shift my perspective. It changed my character. And the way I had to work coming from that was different. Like I always worked hard, but like then I was paranoid. Like, dang, like,
right.
What if I'm not the same? I couldn't walk. How am I going to run? Like it just changed everything. And I'm thankful that I went through that because I was able to go back to school. I got my degree. I get drafted by Portland. That changes my life. I get married there. I have a kid there. I build a wine business there. Like that situation, like God's plan is undefeated. Like there's nothing I could have thought would happen out of that situation that happened. Like I had no idea, like I was going to get hurt. I was going to get hurt again. I was going to get hurt again. Like all those things happened. And here I am today to still speak to it.
You know, I think it's dope that you described yourself as arrogant. You was a bomb first type, you said. You like when you became really good, people started knowing it. I think you said you were tough to be around. I only know the CJ that everybody liked. So I'm trying to figure out, how does your wife pull this off? Like, how does she turn you into a good like how important has she been to you? You met her in college, and shout out the wife out here.
Yeah. Right? I mean, I'm still arrogant. I still am a lot of those things. It's just about the timing of it and when it happens and the understanding of my life and where I've come from and what I've been able to accomplish. My wife has been everything, right? Like she's been there when I had nothing. She was taking me out to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like she's been there when I couldn't walk multiple times. She's helped me study, helped me prepare. She's rebounded for me, like I said, at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Like I might go out and say, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym. She come back and rebound for the kid at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. So she's been through like every step of this process with me. She's been there when I was getting DNPs. I was like, why are you wearing my jersey to this game? I'm not even gonna play. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's low-key embarrassing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's been there for all phases of life. And I told her, my greatest accomplishments have come with you. And probably, like, in theory, like, you have a strong woman who leads and encourages and loves, and you don't have to worry about your household. You become more successful, right?
Oh, yeah.
Facts.
And she's helped me triple my worth because of her guidance, her love, her sacrifice, her ability to encourage, her ability to put me down when I need to be put down. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I'm not doing things the way I need to be doing them, like, it's like, you don't need a yes man and a yes woman around you. You need people who are going to say no, like, nah, you shouldn't do that. Or, nah, I don't think that's a good idea. Or, yeah, go ahead and do that. Even though this is going to take you away from the house for a little bit, I know that's what's important to you. You go do that. So my wife is one of the main reasons why I've been able to sustain success and been able to sustain a high level of success in like a lot of factors in my life. It's because of her encouragement, her sacrifice, her love, and her input. Her input is extremely important to me. I value her not just as a person, but like what she thinks about certain stuff that I'm doing, partnerships, community stuff. And she brings a unique perspective. A woman's perspective is very, very important. So I'm thankful for her, and she's given me the greatest gift life can offer, and that's a child. So I can never repay her for not only the love she showed for me and my family, but how she carries herself. And she's so nice and genuine and sweet as a person. It's hard for me to be an arrogant asshole.
All the time. You still
not all the time.
Not all the time. Only some of the time.
Shout out to good wives, baby. That's what
you know what I'm saying?
You know?
Oh my God. Yeah, no doubt.